Before we begin this episode of the Y series, I just want to look through this camera lens and say to you, the viewer, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you being here. We're a solid team, even the guys that get really angry. I love you too. You're still here. You're still here. Go Miller Group. But I am Simon from What Culture, and while I know that WWE is gearing up for a season 2 of its very popular YouTube show, Southpaw Regional Wrestling, that's not enough. I loved everything what they did before, but no longer is presenting this in a TV-like format enough for me. I need more. I need real matches where I get to see these dudes in a ring. Why? Here's why. While this may never happen, mostly because of the viewer that would tune in and be well confused when all of a sudden Luke Gallows is playing some guy called Tex and Fandango is pretending he's some guy called Chet Chetfield, the thought of actually being able to see a pay-per-view with the Southpaw Regional Wrestling crew, especially if it was Lethal Leap Year, fills me with wonder and fills me with excitement. Aside from allowing certain wrestlers to open up and have a lot more fun than they are having on the main roster, e.g. the Ascension, to me, it feels like a market within the professional wrestling landscape that we haven't tapped into yet. And if somebody has tapped into it, why has nobody told me? Trying to put on an 80s inspired wrestling promotion in 2017 sounds ridiculous, and that's because it's actually ridiculous. If you're an old fan from back in that era, you're not going to want to watch this, and if you're a modern day fan, this is just going to blow your brain. We've come too far and we can't go back. What may have some appeal though, as Southpaw on YouTube showed, is doing this, but while you're doing it, give a gleeful wink and a knowing wink to the camera. Admittedly, you could say that doing this would be the ultimate death of kayfabe, but let's face it, it's dead anyway. That may be good and that may be bad, but we have seen Braun Strowman on Tinder looking for dates. Don't worry about kayfabe no more. And if that is the case, let's just have some damn fun with the whole thing. Let's let our hair down. Well, you can let your hair down, I can't let your hair down. But let's remember that wrestling doesn't have to be super serious all the time. And you can, of course, and if that's what gets you through the day, good for you. But I like nonsense, and sometimes I like nonsense up the yin-yang. For starters, we could actually tailor-make a pay-per-view for a specific audience, or in this case, a smarky arsehole like myself. I doubt a casual fan is going to care about a Southpaw pay-per-view, but that just means you can focus your audience and make it a niche. You can break the fourth wall, you can make the references, and you know you're not alienating the viewer because we've all bought in. That's why we're there to begin with. And you can push Big Bartholomew to the moon, because that's what we need. It's obviously important to keep the likes of Raw and SmackDown serious because that's the product you're trying to get a fan to buy into. But if we're moving away from that and we're coming up with these crazy concepts, then we can get nuts. So we should get nuts. If you've developed something that's got a very comedic center, then we can embrace that with everything we've got. And besides, I'd much rather see that than some of the other guff that's currently on the WWE network. I don't want to watch Swerved. Nobody wants to watch Swerve. And also, think of some of the matchups we could have. The mentioned Tex Ferguson finally going against Chad Too Bad. The Surf Dudes with Attitudes taking on Pelvis Wesley and John Johnson. The long-awaited clash between our man Bart and the banker. The banker tried to steal his house, that knob. I want justice. Can you imagine the ludicrousness of the commentary as well? Not only would we get John Cena as Lance Catamaran, which is such a departure, it would actually make John Cena feel really fresh, but also we can finally let Fandango off the leash. And as we know, that's very important. I mean, between what he was doing before and what he's recently done with the Fashion File segments, good grief. Be amazing. It'd be the best thing that happened in 2017, no matter what. I know there's a contingent of people out there that don't like comedic wrestling, but you don't have to watch, and it's not something that WWE has ever bought in full sale. When they did do it before with the YouTube series, I think it was a success. So why not try to build on that and try and make it this bigger thing? Again, if it doesn't work, who cares? You and I will like it, and then we can just move on to something else. Think of some of the madness you would see in the ring as well. You're not on TV. You're kind of blocked off because of a paywall, and if you've been told to ham it up, some of those guys are pretty funny. They do really well. I think we'd all have such a good time that all of our problems would just fade away for a few hours, and it'd be better than most WWE Network special pay-per-views that they do put on at the moment. Today we have so much WWE content that the thought of having something that's actually completely different makes me happier. And I'd be happier still if it was Southpaw Regional Wrestling where all this time was invested into. And I've got no problem with them trying new things on the network, especially if it's taking an idea they've already got and tweaking it slightly. And I know that putting on a pay-per-view is going to cost a lot more money than a shanky YouTube show that probably costs nothing. But dare to dream, eh? Dare to dream. Overall, I just think that WWE could be having a lot more fun with their network and not making shows because they feel like other shows. This isn't other shows, this is wrestling. Let's embrace it. Let's put the fist in the air for wrestling and create stuff that works for wrestling. Also, isn't it amazing that no matter what character Rusev plays, he's incredibly entertaining? I'm calling it now. Write the date and the time down. One day and one day soon, Rusev is going to be the biggest babyface in the company. And I'm going to be a happy bald man. Also, didn't Southpaw Regional Wrestling kind of help Fandango, Tyler Breeze and The Ascension? Like following that, they seem to be allowed to have a lot more fun on the main shows. So couldn't we do that again? Couldn't we use it as a trigger point? Or I probably just made that up. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about a Southpaw pay-per-view. Like, share and subscribe. Follow What Culture on Twitter, What Culture WWE. Then go to your browser, whatculture.com, read some articles. I am Simon from What Culture. This was the Y Series. You don't agree, but that's why the internet's great, because now we can have a wonderful and fair and respectful and polite debate, as you do.
Hello, it's Jack here, lead singer of acclaimed covers band American Rachel. I did not write this script, and I'm here to test your wrestling knowledge today. Are you ready? Guess the theme tune that I'm about to hum. And so on and so on. Did you get it? Oh, cool. Sorry, D. For those of you who didn't get it, it was the Nexus's theme tune. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. For more theme tunes and awesome fun too, buy the new What Culture Wrestling trivia game available at shop.whatculture.com.